As he strode along Whitehall, Morgan repressed the urge to whistle a jaunty sea shanty. The sky was blue, the birds were singing, and the world was, in general, rather excellent. There was nothing like a brief spell in prison to put one's life in perspective, and he'd done a great deal of thinking while locked in his cell on Martinique. He'd returned to England with two specific goals: seduction and revenge, although not necessarily in that order. After almost 2 years travelling the globe with His Majesty's Royal Navy, he was back in London and buoyed by the fact that the revenge part of his plan was about to take a significant step forward. Robert Dundas, Viscount Melville and First Lord of the Admiralty, had finally agreed to disclose the identity of the mapmaker whose incorrect chart had been the cause of Morgan's shipwreck and subsequent detention 6 months ago. Falsely accused of being an English spy by the island's sadistic French governor, Morgan had spent each and every day of his incarceration vowing to exact sweet revenge on the cartographer responsible for his suffering. The error suggested a shocking lack of competence. Sandbars, it was true, could shift position over time. Entire bloody island chains could not. The defective map had borne the name of an engraver, R. Crusoe, of Berry Street, Bloomsbury, but no mapmaker of that name existed in London. The pseudonym, employing the name of Daniel Defoe's fictional castaway, was clearly someone's idea of a joke. Morgan hadn't found it remotely amusing. But now, as he approached the Admiralty offices, a smile curved his lips. Today he would finally get some answers, and when he discovered the man behind that dangerously inaccurate map, he would track the bastard down and make him suffer. He had no intention of subjecting the culprit to the same brutal hardships he himself had faced: starvation, beatings, unbearable thirst. He was nothing like General Jean-Luc Decaen, his captor, who'd treated Morgan and his crew with the utmost cruelty. He just wanted an explanation, and an apology, and then he'd punch the idiot in the face. He'd lost weeks of his life in that sweaty, stinking hellhole of a prison. The least he could do was give the man a broken nose or a couple of cracked ribs, a few weeks of painful discomfort in return. That would be justice.